First and foremost, Cincinnati is dear to me. The city, Ohio. That's where I got to know the Lord at. That's where I gave my life to the Lord. So I'm forever grateful to Cincinnati. I wanted to play 2 sports there at one point. I wanted to play for the Reds forever. I love that city. I used to live right downtown. Now downtown is somewhat different. I've seen Coach Zimmer lives in Cincinnati. So whenever I visit near that area, I go to his ranch, kick it with Zim a little bit. But I love Cincinnati. I love what they're doing football-wise. What they did a few years back was phenomenal. So I followed them because my heart goes out to Cincinnati, especially the hood there. I mean, I used to leave tickets to every game to kids. I don't care who it was. It's like, hey, 50 tickets down there, my name, just go ask. And they did. So that was awesome.
Coach, you talked about Gus and your relationship with Gus Malzahn.
He's awesome.
What makes him special? And I know he actually
real. He's honest. He keeps it 100. When we went there on a recruiting trip, I've never seen a coach do this. He had another kid that was like a 5-star quarterback, and he said, "All right, let's see what y'all got." He took Shador on the backfield with some receivers and that quarterback, and they went at it, throw for throw. You know how it turned out. But who does that? Besides the coach that want to know the truth. He kept it a buck with us the whole time, man. I just love his style. I love his tenacity. I love his endurance. I love what he stands for, and I'm good with it, man. I forever support him.
Are you looking forward to that opportunity to go down to Orlando and return to Florida again?
Yeah, most definitely. We have, I think, close to 20 or more Floridians on our team. So, and I'm from Florida, so we've got a few staffers from Florida. So I welcome that moment that we get opportunity, and I guarantee you there'll probably be the most requests from high school players that week that I guarantee they ever had. I make sure of that. I will make sure of that. But he's phenomenal, man. I love him. All these coaches have been great to me. They've been gracious. They've been kind. They've been supportive. They've been outside the box. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to nobody treating me right. I'm not used to it. I'm used to the hate, you know. But being used to the hate, you guys have helped me understand what love is.
Coach, you've talked about your players wanting the bright lights. Shador certainly handled that well last year, but now everybody knows who he is.
Everybody's been knowing who he was. I think.
What is the key?
We barely lost when we were in Jackson.
Right.
So everybody knows who he is. The key this year is consistency and protection. We got to protect him. We got to be consistent. We got to be able to run the football. We got to do some things that keeps us where we want to be, and that's ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. We've flipped the roster once again, which we had to. We're doing things out of necessity, not just because we're doing stuff for recreational purposes. I gave you guys a stat that I'm sure you couldn't believe because you talk about us being in the portal so much. When I told you 17 freshmen and 14 of them played. Ain't nobody ran with that story, huh? Who else plays more freshmen than we do? That percent. What is that percentage?
Maybe
over 80.
Huh?
Over 80.
Over 80.
So who in college football plays 80% of their freshmen? Nobody. But we're portal driven. We do what we have to do to make sure things are sufficient and suffice. Now, once we have stability at other positions, then we can go out and grab more freshmen. You'll probably see an increase in that. High schools, you see an increase in that every year that we guarantee success. This year, of course, we had to go and get some linemen that are ready, that has played in the Power 5, that have started the multiple games in the Power 5, and that can protect our most valuable asset. That's our quarterback.
What's the sellout in Boulder like for those?
Excuse me?
The sellout in Boulder, what is it like for those who haven't been?
It's crazy. You can feel the energy to the television. I'm sure you may not have been there, but they watch us play on television. Boulder is unbelievable, man. The fans, the support, the love, the passion, not just for the people in Boulder, that for the people that fly in to migrate to our games. I'm forever grateful and thankful. Not only that, but for the networks that choose to put us on because they know people want to see us lose and people want to see us win. Nevertheless, they want to see us.
Coach, as professionally, as a coach, you've jumped up from one division conference to another. And as a player at Florida State, They were just a few years out of being in the Metro Conference before they got in the ACC.
Right.
Because of your familiarity with football in Florida, what do you think of UCF and their jump up and what it means for them?
My concern is Colorado. I rest my case.
I get it.
I ain't got time for nobody else, man. I got time for my kids.
Coach, you talked about Commissioner Yormark calling you a shot caller earlier. Just about your
Boss,
first
man.
impressions with him overall right now.
Man, that's a boss, man. That's a Fred Astaire, like that. I'm trying to think of guys I can compare him to. He is awesome. He's unbelievable. He's a forward thinker. He's a guy that gets it done. He don't talk about it. He is about it. I'm glad to partner with him on what we're doing. I'm glad that Rick did his homework and research and put us in the best place he could possibly place us as a school. You guys are only thinking football. I'm thinking other sports as well that is going to benefit from this transition. And I'm happy that we're in the Big 12.
And Coach, college football being
Hold on. Go ahead.
One thing you guys have this year you didn't last year is you got a core group that's back. Obviously, it's always changed. The thing that helps to have that core group that's back and kind of knows.
Well, we have. You're right, but then again, it goes to another level. We have mature young men that understands the moment and understands timing and understands now. That's what we have. That's what we didn't have. We didn't have guys that believed in themselves. We didn't have guys that believed in the program, believed in the team. We have young men that believe they're pros. They believe that if we ball out, when we ball out, many more of us are going to get opportunities because we balled out. I showed them statistics of the top, I think, 4 teams in college football, including Florida State. Those schools collectively had the most kids in the draft. That's what winning does. So if you want more young men that go into the draft of your team, win. That's all you do. Just win. I'm looking forward to 2 more guys joining the 2 that we have that we know are going in the top 5. It should be 2 more on the roster. I'll let you figure that out, but there's 2 more going in the first round. I feel that, and I stand by that.
Coach, you talked about BJ Green earlier, but
Yeah.
you have 2 other transfer defensive ends, Deion Hayes and Samuel
Unbelievable.
Bola.
Unbelievable.
What are you going to do to make sure that all 3 of them get the snaps they deserve?
They're going to get on the field, and I'm going to say, get up. What you mean what I'm going to do? I can't play no more. They got to do it. I can't do it. They got to do it. Those young men, they have that, though, man. Their thought processes are different, man. They're pros that's still playing in college football. Like they get it and they want it and they know what it takes to get to that level. And shoot, they got 2 pros on the defensive line that are teaching them and coaching them. And Coach Vincent Dancy, that's one of the best coaches on the darn staff to me. That he's going to be probably the next coordinator at some point or some time for us. So those young men that we have, and I could keep naming several other guys. Shoot, you don't forget. I'm trying to say something that don't get in trouble. Arden Walker is pretty darn good. Okay, don't forget him by any means. And let me tell you something. Taj McCoy, the freshman last year, watch that kid. Watch what he does. And we got a big killer that when he figures it out, Quincy Wiggins, when he figure it out, it's a wrap. He's a freak of an athlete, freak of a player. The kid can flat out ball.
You talked about committed to the run. Where does that stand now? Is Hayden the leader, or where are you looking to? How's he going to shake out in that running back room?
It's going to shake out the way it shakes. It don't matter who started, man. It's who finishes and who gets the job done. All those backs are good, man. You guys, just because Charlie Offerdahl had the title of a walk-on, you guys underestimate it. You look past it. I don't. I look at a man for what it is, not where he came from, but where he is right now. So forget the small beginnings. I think he deserved the opportunity. He's not a walk-on anymore. He's a scholarship player, and he's the starter at this point. They got to beat him out.
Coach, you talked about potentially having 4 first-round draft picks this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Some very early draft projections have Shador coming right here to Las Vegas to play for the Raiders.
That'd be nice.
Just your thoughts on the city and, you know,
The city is beautiful. I'm not a gambler, so I'm not with all that. But that'd be nice. He has a wonderful head coach and a wonderful president in this organization that I think I'm meeting today, actually, right?
Yep.
So that'd be nice. I've been looking around the stadium.
Talk to us.
It's a nice stadium. It's nice. It's
Talk to
nice
us
around
about
here.
Antonio Pierce, obviously you just
Great
mentioned
man. He's a great man, great leader. Earned the job. They didn't give him nothing. He earned the job. I love what he brings to the table. I don't want him to lose to the point where he has the ability to get Shador. Let's get that straight. Okay? I don't want that to happen. I really don't. But I wouldn't mind some kind of way it happens that he's here. I don't want that to happen.
And Coach, college football being about rivalries, obviously Colorado and Nebraska renewed theirs last year. Have you gotten or heard from like alum Colorado being back in the Big 12? Because obviously players territorial about their.
No, I haven't. I hear everything else. I mean, everybody say all kind of stuff about us. You hear everything. I don't hear that part of it. I hear all the crazy stuff.
Coach, it's obviously a pretty hectic day, but earlier you got a chance to kind of reminisce.
Man, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How's your summer?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Not too bad.
You're looking good, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. You got to reminisce with Coach Homon earlier and tell some stories with Shiloh. Kind of in the midst of a day like this, what did that mean to you just to kind of see one of your old coaches and kind of reminisce?
Man, last time we were together on the field, I think we won the Super Bowl. So just reminiscing and understanding that he was such a good coach, but he was more of a good man. And he had a lot of personalities in that defensive back room. And he managed it and he handled it. And awesome. And it wasn't easy to handle all those personalities in that defensive back room. We were really, really good. So he brought back some memories. I just know he was a smart, intelligent, savvy coaching machine, man. He did his job. And the year we were together, thank God, I think he was the player of the year, the 1 year we were together. So I'm forever grateful.
Just 1 or 2 more, guys.
One of the things that's been previewed this offseason is the new uniforms.
Uh-huh.
Is that something that fans maybe will able to see in college football 25? Or
I don't know nothing about that video game. I'm not a video game guy. I love video games, but I'm a real game guy. I don't know, like you guys talking about ratings and rankings. I don't know about that stuff. I'm just trying to figure out how can Shador be tied with another person. How did that happen? Okay, and how can Travis not have the highest score on the game when he's arguably the best receiver and the best defensive back in college football? So how in the world can you not be the #1 rated guy, period? I don't understand that either. So I don't get that stuff where it comes from, but it's good conversational pieces. I think that's what this side.
Favorite memory in Vegas?
Having my money that I got off the plane with when I left.
If you win,
Shiloh handling the distraction situation.
Shiloh's great. What distraction? Shiloh's good. You know what I want you to do? I want you to do this for me. I want you to do your homework and do a whole investigation. And then right there. I mean a whole complete investigation on what truly happened. Did you know Shiloh won? Yeah.
if this team wins like you,
Coach, you touched on your relationship with Joey McGuire earlier.
Yeah.
Can you speak on not just as a coach, but as father, the kind of relationship you two have?
What was that last
Joey
one?
McGuire, the relationship you two have, not just as coaches, but both as fathers.
Joey was like the godfather, man, of the coaches in Texas, in high school football. Joey was the man. He was the go-to guy. And when my son played for me, I'm not a meddlesome type of father. I just go sit out and sit on the side and watch from afar. I don't get into it because sometimes you know too much. You know, I didn't get into it. And he ran a heck of a program. He was very successful. When he left, I was hurt because so many kids were getting blessed from that area, but he had to move on up. And going to Baylor, doing his thing, to get an opportunity, I was happy for him. Joey is a stand-up guy. He's a great guy. He's always been consistently a good dude and handled my son really well and others that I know from that program. I got love for Joey forever. He's great. And he's opened his door for me a multitude of times to understand how to handle the Big 12 and how to understand the other coaches.
If this
All right, last one, guys.
If this team wins like you expect, do you see
I'm gonna
perhaps
come back to you.
do you see perhaps Shador and Travis being in a battle for the Heisman?
You gotta. I hope so, because that means we're winning. Because you don't get the Heisman unless your team wins. So I would love. I don't really care about that award, but I would love for us to win, so they would have the opportunity to experience that experience. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Christopher Miller. As a young black male, this is much bigger than football.
Yeah.
This is Black history.
That's right.
So, what does it mean to you, knowing that you inspire so many young African American males to want to be a Power 5 college football?
I'm very thoughtful and appreciative, and I think about that. And the way I approach some things, that thought process is in my mind. And I also think about how the black fathers portrayed. I remember how they were targeting LeVar Ball, because he had love for his kids and wanted to do his thing. Next thing you know, both of those kids are first rounders, right? He told you before it happened, but you didn't like it. Now you're all over LeBron about Bronny getting an opportunity. Bronny was going to get an opportunity whether you like it or not. It just depended on where the opportunity came from. It happens to be with his dad, which is iconic. And you look at, my sons, and you attack dad, and you always got something to say instead of being appreciative. Because most of you got sons, daughters. And just think if somebody treated your kids like you treat ours. You attack theirs like you attack ours. And you don't do your homework and understand the stories that you're asking me about. Like, you got to really consider that stuff. But as a black man, we're going to always be on the cross, my brother. God comes with that. Much is given, much requires. I'm ready for that. God chose the right one. That's why I'm thankful to be in front of you. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Coach.
Great question, dog.